So Twitter is being sued, and rightfully so, because they not only failed to protect the most vulnerable populations out there, but because they were actively involved in said exploitation. Now, as far as this lawsuit goes to, it's talking about images, it's talking about videos, and it's talking about a request to pull them. You know, this wasn't something that wasn't out there, wasn't easily found. These were being accessed. They were being accessed quite a bit, to the tune of 167,000 views, 2,223 retweets. Yeah, that's not only a problem with the images and the videos that are being hosted. That's the type of people that you're attracting to your site. Again, we keep hearing about monsters out there. Well, think about that. 167,000 views. Now, as far as Twitter's part in this is concerned, I mean, really think about this. People, they started reporting those images. They started reporting those videos, and this is what Twitter they had to say about it. Thanks for reaching out. We reviewed the content and didn't find a violation of our policies, so no action will be taken in this time. If you believe there's a potential copyright infringement, please start a new report. If the content is hosted on a third-party website, you'll need to contact that website support team to report it. Your safety is the most important thing, and if you believe you are in danger, we encourage you to contact your local authorities. So basically, you have videos of exploitation. They tell you, after looking at that, supposedly, that they don't violate their terms of service. But then again, this is pretty much standard for them anytime it comes to that vulnerable population. Now, what makes this even more egregious, in my opinion, are statements like this from Twitter Safety. That's at Twitter Safety. This is the Twitter Trust and Safety Council, by the way. This is on their own website, posting about something November the 15th, 2013. You'll notice the at here, at Thorn. Proud to partner with Thorn and other tech companies in the fight against, let's just say, exploitation. That's the best way to go with it. I hope to God you understand what I'm talking about here. I have to watch what I'm saying here because you know exactly how that goes. Now, if you've never heard of Thorn, by the way, this is a company that went before Congress, talked about these issues. They've wanted money from you. They've wanted money from you as a taxpayer. They want tax credits from you as a taxpayer. They want money to help fuel this stuff. And really, I mean, think about this. They do absolutely nothing. They just go out, they blow smoke. They get on Twitter Trust and Safety. And if you look them up on Twitter, they have a banner. I'm not showing it all here, but their slogan is until every child can be a kid. They also have another slogan here. Let's build the internet we deserve. Hashtag get safer. Yeah, that's all well and good until you really look at exactly what's going on that platform. And yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that indeed. So hey there to all you wonderful folks, by the way, I hope your day is going smoothly. And really, if you would, share this everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere. Like, comment, make this thing trend, because it shouldn't be ignored. We shouldn't have Twitter shove this off in a deep, dark hole and pretend that this wasn't their company. This isn't their company, because you know what? They've been purging their competition lately, and this is exactly what I say. They say that this app over here or that app over here, it encourages X or it incites Y, but this is the kind of stuff that they've not only turned a blind eye to, they protect it. See, until recently, and I'm talking about 2020, late 2020, this is the kind of stuff that was protected under their terms of service. It wasn't ignored. It was protected. I've been suspended twice for going after this because the people that do this, the ones that have been sharing this hundreds of thousands of times, yeah, they can go out, they can report you for hate, they could report you for violations of a protected class, and yeah, they would uphold it. And they did it with impunity. And we talk about this subject too. I'm talking about this with a mental health background. I worked with this vulnerable population. I worked with them for the longest time until I couldn't do it anymore. Because I'll tell you, going and just sitting across from this, hearing this day in and day again, it'll mess you up inside. You can't look at the world the same. You can't feel safe when your children are out in the world. And that's just you as an observer. Imagine what those folks go through. And imagine what Twitter here. They not only rubber stamped, but what, again, they said was A-okay to happen on their platform. Now, as far as this case goes to, I'm going to read you certain portions to give you an overview, but we're not going to go through the entirety of this. Why? Because we're talking about almost 80 pages. But if you want to know about the case, you can look it up there. Just freeze this, look up that case number, and if you can't find it, I actually posted this on Twitter too. Now, we're covering this as well. You're going to see a lot of still images. Why? Well, I think you understand why I can't show you certain things. Now, it's filed on behalf of a John Doe, and you don't just have lawyers getting involved. Oh no, this is the National Center on Sexual Exploitation that is involved too. They've said this is not only wrong, but yeah, this actually needs to be remedied, and I'm glad to see it, to be honest. Now, as far as what the complaints here involve, number one, this really sticks out, benefiting from this type of trafficking venture in violation of Victims Protection Act. So you violated this by making money off of it. You went out, you attracted these people. What kind of monster are you? What kind of monster indeed? Number two, violation of duty to report this kind of material as well. So they didn't go out, they didn't do anything about it, they didn't report it. Yeah, that's definitely a federal violation. Also, receipt and distribution of. So that's a number three. Number four, California product liability. Number five, negligence. Number six, gross negligence. Number seven, negligence per se. Number eight, negligent infliction of emotional distress. Number nine, distribution of private illicit materials. Number 10, intrusion into private affairs. And number 11, invasion of privacy under California Constitution, Article 1, Section 1. Now, this, by the way, is a request for a jury trial, and this notes this is a civil action for damages under the Federal Trafficking Victim Protection Reauthorization Act and related state laws, claims arising from defendant's conduct when it knowingly hosted this type of exploitation, including, let's just call it CP, that's the easiest way to talk about it, and allowed human trafficking and the dissemination of this material to continue on its platform, therefore profiting from the harmful and exploitive material and the traffic it draws. So our John Doe is 17 now, he'd been in high school, but back when, 2017, when all of this first started, was 13 to 14. Thought he was talking to a 16-year-old female on Snapchat. They decide that they're going to exchange images. He does exchange certain images, and that leads to blackmail and coercion. He's basically told, if you don't want all of this going out to everyone in your community, to your parents, your pastors, all of that's listed in the lawsuit there too, then you're going to provide more material. He does at first. He not only provides that, but he also provides material with him with someone else. And these people, they actually try to make contact with him too. Thankfully, as the lawsuit notes, that never transpired, and eventually he decides he's going to break free. That's in 2019. They decide to punish him, as they said that they would. They decide to take all of that. They decide to put it in one or two videos, and these accounts, they start to dump this out publicly. Multiple people end up reporting this. They report it different avenues that are supposed to help with this. So we're not just talking about John Doe trying to shut it down. And you know what happens? A whole lot of nothing. That's exactly what happens. Did not violate anything there. Like I said, this is not just a violation of one thing either. We're talking about federal, we're talking about state laws, but the way Twitter sets up, they think they're beyond the rules. They think that they can just go out. They can mouth a few things, say that's not really our problem. If it's hosted here, there, or everywhere, you need to contact them. And they don't have anything to blame in it. And you know what? That's wrong. That is absolutely wrong. Now, what's interesting is how Jack's own words run into this, too. Jack, by the way, is the CEO of Twitter. He was talking about suspending a certain account, not getting into that. This is not supposed to be political. This is talking about actionable consequences. And they talk about their duty here. And this is being brought up. In that same thread, as it said, he added this. Yes, we all need to look critically at inconsistencies of our policy and enforcement. Yes, we need to look at our services might incentivize distraction and harm. Yes, we need more transparency in our moderation actions. All this can erode a free and open global internet. So when he's talking about, hey, I did this out here because, well, it's interesting, that harm there, in talking about those tweets. Why didn't these tweets do harm? Why didn't they violate TOS? And further, again, it talks about monetization and how Jack here, he actually made money off of it, and his platform did too. I mean, like I said, that's monstrous. But anyway, that breaks this down. I don't really want to add much more at the end of this, except I did leave ads in because we can donate this money. We can give it to a cause that helps fight this kind of mess. But yeah, don't believe that these platforms are your friends. They throw around the right buzzwords. People think they're on your side. They're not on anyone's side except their own. They shut down discourse. They ban us when we talked about that. They've attacked us by going and calling this out. Make sure that this is loud. Make sure that you share it everywhere. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. And as always, I appreciate